The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are back in the NFC Conference Championship for the first time since 2002.
So a great job by everybody, a great win for Tampa.
And they will be taking on the Green Bay Packers, who are back within a game of the biggest dance of all since, well, last year.
Packers just too good, and they outlast the Rams here tonight.
And there is no way to avoid it. This is going to be one of the best QB Conference Championship matchups the NFL has ever seen.
They don't get no better than this. Soon or later, he'll be 10 years in like, damn.
Right side, he's got the big dog for a touchdown.
He's got to be open. Antonio Brown, 3-2-1.
Yes, sir! Touchdown!
Okay, now that we have the obvious out of the way, let's get to the nuts and bolts. And to help me get through them, since there are so many, I've enlisted NFL Media's Colleen Wolfe.
That's right. And you can't see me right now, but since I just really love cheese in general, I'm going to take the Green Bay side of things, which we all know always starts with number 12.
That's pretty amazing, 200 and 400.
That's the best.
He just got done facing one of the toughest run defenses in football. Couldn't stop him. He was facing one of the league's best pass rushes. Couldn't stop him.
Watch this. Watch him reset the platform, resets his feet, and makes a great throw to Allen Lazard.
He was facing one of the best secondaries in the league. Couldn't stop him.
Running away, throwing on the run. He's got completion to the big man.
Bonus points for anyone who could name check that old commercial I just ripped off. But the point here is Aaron Rodgers just faced one of the best defenses in football this year, and he threw for close to 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rating close to 110, while averaging over 8 yards per attempt. If he can do that to the Rams, then who, pray tell, is going to slow him down?
We're going to set the tone, let them limbo into that. You understand? Let's go out here and whip that ass.
Well, the Bucs defense might not have put up the kind of numbers the Rams did this year, but they absolutely balled out last week against the Saints.
Oh, this was picked.
How many times has a defense held Drew Brees to a passer rating under 40? The last time it happened, Rihanna's Diamonds was the top song in the United States.
Brees throws, and he's picked by Devin White.
Okay, their regular season numbers weren't great against the pass.
Yes! Touchdown!
But when they faced Rodgers earlier this year, they held him to his lowest passer rating of the year. So they seem to be able to come up big against some of the best QBs in the league.
Rodgers takes the snap, drops, pressure coming against the pass. It's intercepted! Picked off down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
They say he don't throw picks.
In turn, the Bucs also did a number on Devontae Adams. 10 targets, only 6 catches for just over 60 yards.
Here's one broken up, another pick.
But can they really pull that off twice? Adams had a first-team All-Pro corner on him last week. He tells Jalen Ramsey before the game, come get it, follow me around, let's give everyone what they came for. And Adams still finds a way to finish with 9 catches, one of which he cashed in for a score.
And look at how quick, from snap, catch to throw, and there's Jalen Ramsey just completely flustered.
What we saw Adams do in that game was adapt, and that's why he was so good this year.
Both those guys are diving. It's just like, you just got to relax and just see the ball. Just catch the ball.
Adams didn't put up the most receiving yards per game and most receiving touchdowns of any receiver just by running a bunch of go routes. He burned defenses at every level. His route running, not to mention his hands, maybe the best in the game. No disrespect, Stephon Diggs.
Best in the world.
We'll see y'all in a couple weeks.
The Buccaneers could put their top corner on Adams. Carlton Davis, sub-90 rating allowed, and was their picks leader with 4.
It's intercepted, picked off by Carlton Davis.
Okay, but the Packers receiving core isn't a one-man show. Adams wasn't even the lead dog against the Rams. That was Allen Lazard, who came close to putting up a C-note through the air while pulling in the dagger that basically ended the Rams' season.
Rodgers going for it all, looking to break it open. He's got it! Lazard, gonna go!
Plus, they have to be able to keep tabs on MVS, too. He wasn't needed quite as much against LA, but the dude led the league in yards per catch this year. So clearly, he's capable of coming up big at any moment.
It's MVS, and he is gone!
Oh, I love 78-yard bomb.
And let's not forget Mr. Touchdown. Can't sleep on Green Bay's tight end anymore. Not when you have Robert Tonyan finding the paint 11 times in a season. Do you get it? Rodgers has options, and these options helped him look more like a 27-year-old who used to be known as the discount double check guy than a 37-year-old trying to convince his agent to give him the Rodgers rate.
All right, there we go. Come on, man.
Plus, they've got Aaron Jones. He hit another home run shot last week as part of a 99-yard game.
Aaron Jones with a 60-yarder to start the third quarter.
That performance wasn't anything new for Jones either. 5.5 yards per carry this year, 4 yards a carry or better in 11 of his 15 games, including playoffs.
Oh, that might be an endorsement, coach.
But making them even more dangerous on the ground has been the emergence of A.J. Dillon.
Dillon in the game for the first time, and the rookie across midfield.
And you can't forget Jamal Williams, who reminded everyone last week that he can still be a force when called upon.
And this Packers offensive line is doing some major work.
Okay, if you go off last week, sure, the Bucs gave up 4.7 a run to Alvin Kamara.
Kamara on first down breaks loose.
And yes, when Green Bay lost to Tampa, they still picked up 4.5 yards a run against them.
Here is a first down carry by Dillon.
But the Buccaneers held ball carriers to 3.6 yards per carry and 80.6 yards per game, both the lowest figures in the NFL.
Get out of here, man.
They coupled their stout rush D with a fierce pass rush. They were one of the blitz-happiest teams in football.
Buccaneers break 6. Heineke is in trouble, and he is sacked.
And all that blitzing ended up helping them tie for the 4th most sacks and tied for 2nd most QB hits.
Your time, D, your time.
And they picked up 4 of those sacks against Green Bay, and that's when they had first-team All-Pro left tackle David Bakhtiari, who they won't have for this game.
Rodgers is sacked.
Then add their ability to take away the ball, 4 turnovers last week, tied for 6th most this season, and you get why they were top 10 in both yards per game allowed and points per game allowed.
Just an excellent job knocking the ball out.
Okay, but no team put up more points than Green Bay in 2020.
Great job. Way to throw it, man.
Rodgers only threw 5 interceptions all year against 48 touchdown passes, so turnovers aren't usually an issue for the Pack.
We changed in the huddle. Hey, we changed in the huddle.
Sacks, even without Bakhtiari against the team with the 2nd most sacks last week, 0 allowed.
And here comes Rodgers to Tunyon.
And they rarely gave them up this season, tied for 2nd fewest in 2020.
That doesn't happen without you guys kicking ass on the edge, man.
So makes sense they were pretty good at keeping drives alive and punching it in when they cracked the 20.
Takes it himself to the goal line, touchdown.
So what about the offense run by the guy with the 6 Super Bowl rings?
Good protection again, pass caught, touchdown Fournette.
Tom Brady may not have had a monster stat line last week, and he came close to throwing a couple picks, but in the end, a couple TDs, no picks, another playoff win.
Brady just tries to stick it on him and let him make a play.
Plus, Brady threw 40 TDs this season, just under 290 yards per game.
It's Antonio Brown. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
He has weapons galore. Mike Evans.
Looking deep again. Mike Evans. He gets the separation and the score.
Chris Godwin.
That is a mismatch right from jump.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown spins into the end zone for a touchdown.
Gronk.
Let's show him I still got that.
Young Gronk sauce.
Holy guacamole.
And Cameron Brate will hit teams with big catches throughout the game.
He finds Brate. A completion of 19 yards.
2nd most passing yards per game, 2nd most passing TDs, 3rd most points per game.
Nice job, boys. Way to hang in there. All day, just like that.
But the Pack wasn't terrible against the pass this year. 7th fewest yards per game allowed, 17th lowest completion percentage allowed, tied for 9th fewest touchdown passes allowed.
Loads up and intercepted by Amos.
And they just held the Rams' passing attack to less than 150 passing yards and under 7 yards per attempt.
Nearly intercepted. Barnes read it.
The Pack secondary got a huge assist from its pass rush in their divisional round win. Nothing new, being that they were top 10 in sacks this season.
He's in trouble. He is sacked.
They steamrolled Jared Goff 4 times. Zadarius Smith getting home against him once.
Oh, look out. Goff is swallowed up whole.
And Smith got home 12.5 times this season, leading the Pack in plates of saccaroni and cheese, which, in my humble opinion, should only be applied to Packers sacks for, obvious reasons.
Look out, Tannehill from behind, and he gets sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Brady, though, is hard to get home against. Only 3 teams allowed fewer pass rushers to get to their signal callers more often.
That's it. Hey, getting great protection. Hang in there, baby. You got it.
And even though they don't run a lot, Tampa's Ronald Jones was back last week, hit at 4.8 yards per carry, and was good for 5 a run for the season.
Done a good job up front of sticking with this running game.
And they can also roll in Leonard Fournette, too. He had 100-plus scrimmage yards last week.
Here's a nice cut by Fournette. Picks up 8 and a first down.
Okay, admittedly, Cheeseheads do have some holes to cover up, and so does Green Bay's defense, and the most glaring showing up in their run game.
Akers big hole and a first down.
They let Cam Akers hit 5 a carry on them.
Good move for Akers, straight up the gut and a first down.
And they really didn't fare great against most ball carriers this season, so they are a little vulnerable against teams that can really run the ball well.
Nice little hole, little stiff arm there. He's noted for that, picks up 11.
But come on, run games are great and important and all, but this is Brady Rodgers Part 4. Brady is up 2-1, but they have never faced off in a playoff game for obvious reasons. So the winner of this one won't care about any of those games.
Good job, buddy. You okay? You see, man. All right. Yeah. Speed up a little bit. Yeah. Good job, man. All right. You too. Good luck, man. You guys got a good team. Yeah, you too. See, baby. Yeah.
But let's get to the good stuff, which we like to call predictions.
We all know how it works by now. Fans put theirs in the comment section, and we, myself included, put ours on the screen. Enjoy.